As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
working
let me
with
answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you.
This exchange cuts straight to the heart of a quiet but dangerous policy shift, and here's why it matters. While officials talk about being tough on crime, the numbers buried in the budget tell a very different story. When you slash enforcement agencies and then claim you are making them stronger, something does not add up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick note before I get to my questions. Fentanyl seizures are down 30% compared to last year, and that data is coming from the Customs and Border Patrol, CBP. I don't make it up, but fentanyl seizures are down. At your confirmation hearing, you asserted that you will do everything in your power to prevent illegal gun runners in our country. Your budget request for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives, ATF, proposes a cut of 26% below the current level. How can you justify such a massive cut without inevitably weakening ATF's ability to help our state and local law enforcement fight illegal gun trafficking? How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of this funding reduction you're proposing?
So, I am a career prosecutor, and I believe in keeping America safe, making America safe. First, what we're doing is ATF is going to be brought over with DEA. Everyone knows, everyone sitting up here, guns and drugs go together. They go together. We're going to make it more efficient. What I will tell you will not be happening is ATF agents will not be knocking on the doors of legal gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns. They're going to be out on the streets. If I can finish, they're going to be out on the streets.
I have three
No.
minutes.
You asked me a question.
I did, and
you asked me a question,
and you haven't
I'm gonna
answered my
answer it.
question.
So they're going to be out on the streets working
You haven't
hand in hand
answered my
with
question.
DEA
You
to
haven't
violate.
answered. Mr. Chairman, I'd like an answer to my question. And the question is not being answered. How many ATF law enforcement officers and industry operations investigators do you anticipate will be lost to attrition as a result of the funding reduction you are proposing? You are proposing a 26% cut to ATF for fiscal year 2026, as well as a 4.4% cut to DEA. So you're going to merge the two agencies together, and then you're going to shortchange their resources, so neither one of them will be able to do the job that they have been designed to do. You've got a 34% cut to the high-intensity drug trafficking areas program, no dedicated money at all for the Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. So, my view, it's fair to say that the Trump administration proposal shortchanges federal efforts to stop illegal gun trafficking and federal efforts to stop the flow of dangerous illegal drugs like fentanyl.
As I was attempting to answer your question very calmly, unlike you,
Excuse me, Madam Attorney General. Answer yes or no. Tell me what the numbers are. I don't want to hear all of your filibuster about this. Go ahead, please. Tell us the numbers.
So we are reorganizing. ATF agents want to be out on the street.
Okay,
working
let me answer the
DEA
question for you.
agents.
I'm going to answer it for you. Page. Mr. Chairman, you give me a certain amount of time, and I have a high respect for you, but I don't have to listen, nor do my colleagues have to listen to a filibuster when it's a simple question. But I have an answer to your question. It's page 146 of the department's fiscal year 2026 budget, and the performance summary explicitly says, and let me quote, ATF will eliminate 541 industry operation investigators, reducing ATF's capacity to regulate the firearms and explosive industries by approximately 40% in fiscal year 2026. ATF will perform fewer regulatory inspections. And the department summary goes on to say, and let me quote, ATF anticipates a reduction of approximately 284 support personnel and 186 agents based on historical attrition patterns, and these personnel cuts will impact ATF across various functions, unquote. If the capacity to regulate firearms industry is reduced by 40%, if you are losing 186 ATF law enforcement agents, on top of that, it is clear the direction you are headed with this budget, and that's what it is, isn't it? The proposal will weaken our ability to stop gun trafficking, and it will greatly reduce ATF support for state and local law enforcement that helps them prevent and solve violent crimes. It's a bad proposal.
Do you want to hear my answer in 3 seconds? You mentioned regulatory functions. We will not be having ATF agents go to the doors of gun owners in the middle of the night asking them about their guns, period. They will be out on the streets with DEA, guns and drugs.
How many are
together.
gone?
It will be attrition. We are not firing agents. They
Who are-
will be working.
how
with
many have
DEA.
taken attrition?
Can I tell you that they all want to be on the streets? They want to be doing their jobs. They want to be
But you're getting them
seizing
off
guns.
the streets.
They want
You're getting
to.
them
We're
off the
putting
streets.
them on the
And-
streets.
and-
They want to be working with
you,
DEA.
you are getting them off
We
the
will be
streets. There is no
efficient.
clear, and Mr.
We will
Chairman,
be
I yield back my
efficient.
time. I yield back my time. Let's get some answers here.
This is not about personalities or partisan theater. It is about whether the federal government is actually serious about stopping illegal guns and deadly drugs from flooding American communities. If you want clear, honest breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe. At its core, this fight is about capacity. You cannot reduce an agency's budget by more than a quarter, eliminate hundreds of specialized investigators, and lose hundreds more agents to attrition, then pretend enforcement will somehow improve. Industry operations investigators are the people who inspect gun dealers, track compliance, and identify the sources of trafficked firearms before those weapons end up at crime scenes. Cutting that workforce by roughly 40% means fewer inspections, less oversight, and more illegal guns slipping through the cracks. That is not theory. That is how enforcement works in real life. For more deep dives that cut through the spin, subscribe. The administration's defense rests on a talking point that sounds good but collapses under scrutiny. The idea that merging ATF with DEA magically makes up for massive funding cuts ignores basic reality. DEA is also facing cuts, and merging two weakened agencies does not create strength, it creates strain. Agents cannot be everywhere at once, and street enforcement does not replace regulatory work. In fact, regulatory enforcement is often what prevents violence before it happens. When you remove that layer, you are choosing reaction over prevention, and communities pay the price. If you want analysis that focuses on outcomes, not slogans, subscribe. My view is simple and blunt. You cannot credibly claim to care about stopping illegal gun trafficking while dismantling the very infrastructure designed to stop it. You cannot say guns and drugs go together, then slash the programs and personnel that target both. This budget proposal is not about efficiency, it is about ideology, and the consequences will be fewer inspections, fewer investigations, and more illegal weapons on the street. That is not making America safer, it is gambling with public safety. If you want more unfiltered, fact-driven commentary like this, subscribe. This moment also exposes a bigger problem in how power is exercised. When straightforward questions about numbers are met with deflection instead of answers, it signals discomfort with the truth. Accountability is not filibustering, it is the foundation of democracy. Budgets are moral documents, and this one clearly shows where priorities are being pulled back, not reinforced. Stay informed, stay critical, and if you want this kind of clear explanation every time these issues come up, subscribe.